Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Way of Life podcast. I'm your host, Gus Holland. Today, I really wanted to talk about positivity. I don't know about you, but often I find myself, I guess, forcing positivity, um, which in some cases can be a good thing. If you're just really struggling to move forward, that is one method to kind of get past an obstacle, whether it's physical or mental. Um, that's kind of like a just keep swimming mentality. Um, but I don't know. I mean, I feel like, at least for myself, if I'm trying to be too positive too often, like I guess overdoing it, like pushing the hype, really, it turns out to be more mentally draining than positive on like in the long run. I find myself kind of just getting burnt out and just basically getting depressed or going through like a period of time, whether it be a day, a week, a month, where I just absolutely don't feel like doing anything whatsoever. I'm not in that state of mind currently, but I do. I guess with big highs come big lows, basically. So it's important to find that balance, I guess. And sometimes honesty is best, maybe not for the situation or for the person that's hearing it, but in the long run for yourself, or to at least just keep yourself going. I know when I used to struggle with depression pretty heavily. I mean, a lot of people do at some point in their life, and mine was pretty typical during junior high and high school ages. You just kind of, I'm of that. My personality is very in tune with what a lot of comedians do. You basically just smile through any pain or trauma or anything that you're dealing with. So people will be, they'll get a little hint that something's up, and they say, "Oh, what's wrong, man?" I'm like, "Oh, nothing. I'm good." And make a joke or something, redirect. And it's, once again, that's something that in the short term, it's good because you don't have to deal with that. And maybe you're in a position, maybe you're in public and you don't want to freaking break down crying if it's like really bad. But like I said, in the long run, you're doing more damage to yourself, really. So I wanted to keep this episode very positive, but I feel like mentalities and perspectives have some of the greatest impacts on our day-to-day life and with our lifting and training. And also your diet. So besides just mentalities and perspectives, another big thing that messes up our happiness in general, our moods and state of mind, is gut health. I know it's been recently been a major focus on several podcasts and everything, but I feel like still not enough people really get the message, I guess. I'm going to read a couple statistics and I'm going to talk about it, really. But almost twice as many women suffer from digestive health issues on a weekly basis compared to men. That is the true statistic, but I that was probably the biggest shocker to me because at least at where I work, the guys all seem to have digestive issues. At least when I go to the bathroom. 62. Yeah. Well, I need to explain that further. Yeah. It seems. I mean, I don't know if it's just in blue collar or what, but it seems like somebody's always blowing up the fucking bathroom, like just fucking massive, disgusting. But I mean, it really does go off your gut health. I mean, there's one person I know that drinks literally, I would say probably half a gallon to a gallon of coffee a day. Almost no water, and they shit their brains out every day. And they just stay in a violent cycle of destroying bathrooms. But anyway, 62% of people worldwide suffer from digestive complaints, such as constipation, indigestion, diarrhea, at least once per year. Once per year, that's not really a big deal to me. I don't think, but also the worldwide statistic. I mean, really probably shouldn't have used that since I'm assuming that's including places with not such, it's not as comparable to a first world country, like I guess I'd trying to explain the USA here. Well, and we have I don't want to give a shout out to Germany and Ireland, Spain. We're starting to get overseas listeners, and I greatly appreciate all the support. Yeah, but anyways, 95% of serotonin, which is a major mood influencing hormone, is produced in the small intestine. Therefore, if your health with your small intestine isn't good, your serotonin production is probably decreased, to say the least. The last one, 70% of your immune system is located in your gut. So that was a big thing I learned. Luckily I learned it early, but I have had issues with mood in relation to gut health, basically, in the past. Basically just every day blasting my system with candy and sugar. I mean, sugar from candy and energy drinks, caffeine, and a bunch of sugar kind of throws your whole gut health out of whack. Also, I mean, it's rare. Gluten intolerance and celiac and all that is rare. It is claimed by more people than statistically actually have those issues, but it doesn't hurt as long as you can afford it, to go get some blood work done, and just some routine. Just tell them that you want to check out your, maybe do like a yearly. Tell them I want to do a yearly physical and some blood work, just to check everything out. Basically, that will tell you your hormone balances, testosterone, estrogen, a couple others, and will tell you basic health stuff, cholesterol levels, everything like that. It won't tell you serotonin and everything, but it will, if depending on the degree of blood work they do, it can tell you basically how well your major organs are functioning individually. Thyroid, stuff like that. But it all coincides with your gut basically, or it all has some sort of effect. You know, everything's kind of cyclical within yourself. So, maybe you are drinking way too much. You know, maybe you're having too much calcium, and the blood work will tell you that, and you're like, oh, well, my body just doesn't need as much calcium as I think it does, or whatever, and you know that can lead to urinary issues. You know, it's all tied together, but basically what I'm preaching is to get your shit together. No, get your health together overall. The main thing for me was sugar and caffeine. At my worst, I was probably eating, I don't know, probably 2 medium-sized bags of candy a day. And so I would say, 100 to 300 grams of sugar a day, which is a lot for anybody. But at that point, I could eat like 2 big bags of candy, like, okay, say like cherry sours. Like, I love cherry sours. I could eat 1 whole bag of cherry sours in like a couple minutes, and then snack on, a couple at a time, the other bag of cherry sours, while I finished up my work for the day at work. So right there, actually, let me pause this real quick. I'm going to look up the exact grams, because I know it was ridiculous. Okay, I'm back. 1 5-ounce bag of cherry sours contains 100 grams of sugar. So basically, I was overloading my body with 200 grams of sugar within about 30 to 45 minutes. And then pounding an energy drink, and I would get sugar-free energy drinks, but you're still having a sugar substitute on top of 200 grams of sugar and however many milligrams of caffeine. Just to clarify, also, I know I've told people in the past that I eat cherries, or I like cherry sours, and they didn't know what the hell I was talking about. Cherry sours are like pretend like a cherry gumdrop that is coated in a red, like a hard sugar. It's like smooth. But it has a lot of citric acid in it to make it sour. So it's a cherry sour. And let's see, one bag will have about 50 of those in it. So 40 to 50. So they're about 2 to 2.5 grams of sugar per cherry sour. Anyways, but then at my worst with the energy drinks, there was times I'd do, it was really rare, but there was a couple times I'd do like 1,000 milligrams in a day. The recommended dose for a pregnant woman is 0 to 100 grams per day. Milligrams, I'm sorry. 0 to 100 milligrams per day for a pregnant woman. I think the max they suggest for any human, I believe, is 300 milligrams in a day. So yeah, I would say I was getting 600 to 1,000 every day. That did lead to mood complications. Basically super high anxiety, couple breakdowns, not like psychotic breakdowns, but just where you're just too fucking stressed and overwhelmed, and you got to kind of cry it out or seclude yourself or something, that severe dehydration got in 5 years, probably had 2 or 3, one heat stroke and like 2 heat exhaustion moments, which is basically where you catch it right before you have a heat stroke. Just overall not healthy. Horrible for myself mentally and physically. So I'm pretty proud of myself. I'm currently not really eating any sugar. I know Halloween's coming. I mean, I am eating sugar. I'm not really eating much candy at all. And I've completely cut out energy drinks. So I probably do 100 milligrams of caffeine probably every other day. So that's exponentially better than what it was. Supplements and food to include in your diet to help boost your gut health are prebiotics and probiotics. So those are basically friendly bacterias that help with your digestive health. It's, largely found in yogurt would probably be the most common place to get a lot of probiotics in. The other thing okay, so getting tongue tied here, but there are, so the food things I would suggest are yogurt and, believe it or not, artichoke. Including artichoke in your diet really can help you with really any type of abdominal pain that you're having. IBS, gas, nausea. It lessens all of those symptoms. So you can eat artichoke to relieve immediate stomach issues. Yogurt to improve your probiotics. There's psyllium fiber, which helps you shit, basically. Then there's also L-glutamine. You can find this in several supplement stacks, but you can also buy this in the pill form just by itself. I think it's maybe $10 a bottle. You get, I don't know, probably 60 to 90 capsules of L-glutamine. I believe they also sell it in just straight powder form. It really helps with L-glutamine really helps people to better absorb nutrients that they're taking in. It's also been studied to help reduce inflammation, especially in people that are post-surgery. Other than that, there's some natural remedies, I guess, or things to help your gut health. Most of them are commonly known. Ginger or ginger tea helps comfort your stomach. I just recently found that most motion sickness medicine, unless it's prescribed by a doctor, is just a clinically proven dose of ginger. I think it's like 1,000 milligrams or something, and that's supposed to keep you from getting nauseous from motion sickness. Chamomile, that comes in many forms, but most people enjoy it in a tea. That helps with upset stomach, colic, nausea, and also anxiety and insomnia. So it's a very, very calming tea. Peppermint oil, that helps to ease irritable bowel syndrome and lessen pain from bloating. That is, I know it sounds like a lot of bullshit, and I'm not really much for pushing essential oils that much, but that is why they give you peppermints when you go to restaurants. So you get most places have peppermints when you're done eating a meal because they know you're going to eat too much. You're going to have bloating and heartburn and who knows what else, because that's the restaurant industry for you. But that's that. Then there is licorice. Licorice helps cool heartburn. But you got to be careful because licorice, it's the anise, however you say it. That can, if you eat too much of it, it takes a lot, but if you eat too much, it can raise your blood pressure. So, like I've said before, I'm not a doctor. This is all just me just talking out my ass, kind of. Not really. I do know all of this stuff, but it's meant to be helpful, but do your own research type thing. Obviously, for the blood work stuff, talk to your doctor about it. The food stuff, I mean, try it out. As long as you're not allergic to any of that shit or whatever, not gonna hurt you. Eating some yogurt's definitely not gonna hurt you. So me switching from eating 200 grams of sugar from gelatin-based candy and to switching from doing that to eating a yogurt every other day, greatly improved my mood just from gut health, basically. Anyways, now that I've beaten the gut health shit over the head with a stick, I don't know. I mean, the main thing is to make sure and take time for yourself and your happiness. Like whether you're, like if you're having to keep skipping your workouts because of work responsibilities, you're doing something most likely at work you don't want to do. And then on top of that, you're doing another thing you don't want to do, which is skip the gym or skip your workout, whatever. So, I mean, sometimes there's no way around it, but ideally you want to get your life as close to your schedule, as close to perfect as you can for yourself. If that means finding a better job or a different job, different position, whatever, to better your quality of life, then I would consider that necessary. So that's a fun exercise I like to do, is sit down and write out like a dream schedule of mine. If you prefer to work out in the evenings, but you have to work out at 4 a.m. every morning because that's the only time you have for yourself, then maybe set that as a goal to find a way to change that for yourself, Anyways, take care of yourselves. I greatly appreciate all the support and everything. Another book, I really can't even remember if I've already mentioned it on a previous episode or not, but there is, I know I've mentioned the author Wallace D. Wattles. The book is like 100 years old, but it still has a lot of stuff that really can be utilized today. He wrote The Science of Getting Rich, which is a great, straightforward business book. But he also wrote the snap. Can't even remember. The Science of Being Great, I believe. Yes. Okay. So I just looked it up. He wrote The Science of Getting Rich, The Science of Being Great, and The Science of Being Well. Those are all three great books, and they're very straightforward. It does mention a little bit of religious shit in there. So it's great if you're Christian, and if you're not, look past it. It's still great information. He wrote like I think 6 other books, which I don't know the titles of and I haven't read, but those are all really great books. I would suggest the one that pertains the most to this episode is The Science of Being Great. Kind of gives you a couple ways to look at life that might help you out. But hey, I'm always here for you. So you could email us. I always say us, it's me. It's like royal we, I guess. But you can email me at wayoflifepodcast@gmail.com. If you've got a good question or something, it might be included in the next episode. Other than that, thank y'all. And next week should be another interview episode, more about diet and just kind of joking around with a dude I used to go to high school with. Y'all have a great day, and thank you so much for listening.